As business owners, we know that working hard alone is not what makes you more money. It's working hard on the right things. You've heard the business guys like Hormozi talk about how the more effectively you allocate your time, the better return you get on it. And so working hard on like these spreadsheets, on this data entry, feels productive, makes you feel like you're doing something for your business, but in reality, it's not making you any money. Now, this is a hard truth that I had to face in my own business, because back in 2021, when I was running my e-commerce business, we were doing $1 million a year in revenue, but I was stuck from getting to that next level because I still had to be responsible for all the day-to-day tasks. And that's when I started hiring overseas. Because when I was doing tasks in the business that I could be delegating for $5 an hour, that's what my time became worth, even though it was technically on paper worth way more than that. But once I was able to fix that and start bringing on a team to delegate off those lower value tasks off my plate, I was able to spend it on the things that make me money. So in my e-commerce business, that was sourcing more inventory. And now in my recruitment firm, doing the back-end fulfillment, the logistics that are involved with it isn't the best use of my time anymore. We've built out the systems and the processes that are repeatable. Now my time is more effectively spent on sales and marketing, making videos like this. Business owners will understand that, okay, yeah, I need to hire in order to scale up to that next point, but the local salaries are so expensive. It's like I can't find an ROI from $60,000 to $70,000 local salaries, which is why hiring overseas is such a good opportunity. Because if you can effectively delegate, say, 20 hours a week, let's conservatively 10 hours a week off your plate for $5 an hour, that's gonna cost you $50, but then now you can allocate that time towards things that are worth $100 an hour, and then suddenly now you're making $1,000 an hour. And I'll talk to business owners on calls and I'll be like, yeah, I know I really shouldn't be doing these tasks anymore, these data entry, these logistics in the business, but I'm just so used to it, or they are afraid of delegating it, or they're afraid of trusting someone to be able to do that. But it's really hard to think of that big picture, the plan for where the business is gonna go when you're so involved in doing the minute data entry with your time. Like, we all have limited time on this earth. We all have 24 hours in a day, and so it's about how you can make most effective use of that. Now, for any e-commerce or agency style business, the more clients you take on, the more inventory you have, the more back end that comes with it. The work scales in a linear fashion. And so without delegating, you become the bottleneck of your business. It is purely limited by your time. To add to that, if you're not delegating in your business, you have a job, you do not have a business. And we didn't become business owners to be forced to work 24/7. Obviously, a lot of us choose to because it's what gets us closer to our goals, but it's more out of desire and enjoyment, not because we literally have to in order to keep the business alive because we haven't delegated. The more time I stay in business, the more I realize that the most effective use of my time is not even this like busy, super involved work. It's the like just thinking, just sitting there and thinking about what needs to be done next and deciding who is going to be responsible for that. I don't delegate so I can work less and so that I can enjoy more. It's because it's what's going to get me to that next level because my time is more valuable than that. So in order to accomplish all this and delegate the systems off, I started hiring overseas. First in 2021, and so I kept going through that same process of like hiring, and trying to figure out what it takes to find a good overseas hire. And so I found that one killer for my e-commerce business that allowed me to free up my time from like the back end work so I could focus more on inventory sourcing, which at the time was my highest leverage task. Then I brought on another one, and the other one moved up into sourcing inventory, a more valuable task for her. Same thing in my recruitment firm. The value proposition of hiring someone overseas for like $10 an hour has allowed me to make my time worth way more than that. So basically what I'm trying to say is your time is your most valuable asset as a business owner, as a human, but definitely as a business owner. And so where you allocate it really matters if you want to get to where you're going, if you want to make a lot of money. And any task that you could be delegating for $5 an hour that you're still doing means that's what your time is worth. Focus your time on the things that are actually going to move the needle and make you more money. All right, that's what I got for you today. If you want to click this video right here, it's going to break down our whole process and how we go from 0 to higher in 14 days. I'll see you in the next one.